Hi there, I'm Brian Wood. I'm the Technical Communications and Outreach Manager here at Wolfram. I'm here with Devendra Kapadia, who's part of the Calculus and Algebra group, and he's here to talk about mathematics courses at Wolfram U. So, hello.
Hello, Brian. Very nice to talk with you today.
Likewise. So I understand we've got sort of a little bit of a mix of things today, a little bit of old, new, and upcoming. Do you want to go ahead and just share with us what it is you've got going on in calculus and algebra?
Sure. So we have actually kind of got a history of being part of education. We are the education team in some sense in the R&D group. We do a lot of that. So let me just share my notebook with you, what have been my thoughts, which I've been putting together the last couple of weeks, because it's a great opportunity for me to talk to people about my courses. So basically, we've been involved in developing a series of interactive mathematics courses at Wolfram U. And to take it back to a few years ago, we were excellent in calculus always. That's what we are known for historically. But a point came where we didn't know exactly how well we were doing compared to current textbooks. So we started a project to actually benchmark those problems. We solved 6,000 of them in one summer, and then we didn't know what to do with them. Today we've come a long way. So that's the background. We have had a course in calculus and then linear algebra, and we are deeply involved in Wolfram U, which is the hub, the main body that does all the excellent education work at Wolfram. So that's the background to my courses.
Cool. So when you're talking about you mentioned the AP calculus course, which I think is the first thing we wanted to touch on. So this is a course that's aimed at high school calculus students. Is that correct?
Yes, very much so. I say high school, but it could very well be first year college, and depending upon which country you are in, it might even be some other level. People can do calculus literally at any age, but that's the course I'm talking about. It's called Introduction to Calculus, and this course, broadly speaking, covers the AP Calculus AB syllabus. There are two AP Calculuses, just to make things confusing for everyone.
Of course.
So AP Calculus AB is the kind of the shorter course, and BC is the more advanced course. But AB is the one that a lot of people do, and that's enough. Let's say if you want to do economics at university, then AP Calculus AB is what you need. But it'll cover things which the standard, fare of calculus, differentiation, integration, etc. But the nice thing is that we have actually evolved an interactive course with videos and problem sessions. Just like if you went to college, your TA would meet you once a week or twice a week in a small classroom, and the professor would lecture to you in a very large classroom. So in a very small interactive atmosphere, you would learn how to solve problems. Here the interaction takes place because you can copy and paste your code from the course notebooks into the cloud notebook, which is supplied to you free of charge, and you can try everything as you go along. So I think that this is the calculus course that we have evolved, and it's been, I think, pretty successful. I keep on getting good feedback from far off places like Nigeria and India and China, and so I guess that's the background to it. And I just want to add that when we began the course, we first developed it, we were kind of wondering whether we should have an exam or not. I don't personally care much for exams. I think they sometimes take away the fun from learning, but I was convinced later on that no, if people do like them, and so we've added a final exam to this course, a typical AP Calculus AB kind of multiple choice final exam. You take the exam and then boom, you get your score back. You can take it any number of times. Every time you take it, you get a different set of questions. So no two students in a room of 50 students would get the same test. So it's a large bank of questions. We are very proud of it. I worked on it with a local student who came to me this year early on, and so that's the background to the course and what's happened to it since then. Since we
that you take a test, it seems natural to sort of add that to this course. So that sounds very cool. I vaguely remember taking AP Calculus back in 2004, 2005, and I definitely would have enjoyed having the interactivity back then, because there were plenty of those concepts that are just difficult to kind of get a grasp on just by writing them down, pen and paper, and looking at solutions and things like that. So,
Yeah, sure.
um,
Yeah, I just want to add that, that I'm glad that you are one of those. I didn't do the AP myself, but I think it's a pretty difficult, challenging exam. So we do what we can. We have provided video lesson, like I said, but it's also full text. If you're the kind of person who likes to study the full text, that's there for you as well. And it
mhm.
works really well. So there are different levels on which you can approach the course. And we've tried our best to make it as useful as possible.
Yeah, it's nice. You sort of get to decide what depth you want to go into things.
Yes. So
So what else is new? What else have you got going on?
yeah, so actually, one thing that happened was that earlier this year, Stephen Wolfram decided that we should have a series of study groups for our courses, and so they convinced me that I should take some time off from my regular duty is to develop code and look after a team of around 11, 12 people who
Mhm.
develop features for Mathematica and the Wolfram language. But then I took time off from all that, and we actually had a calculus study group with quite a large audience from all over the world, and people of all age groups, I would say ranging from probably 15, 16 to, I would guess, 70, taking part in the group.
Mm.
And the what happens is that we met each day from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock for an hour, and we would just talk about some of the videos. We'd watch them, talk about them, have some poll questions, do some exercises, take a weekly quiz. And so it was just like being in a regular classroom, but very, very intense, both for me and for the participants. We covered essentially the whole of AP Calculus AB, about 80% of it in 3 weeks. And
Wow.
around 100 people just made it through everything. And they really did ask good questions. One of them actually, just to give a slight personal touch to this, one of them told me that they sent me a notebook which she had inherited from her mother, who was born in 1920. And for her whole life, this lady had been wondering, what do all the symbols mean? And her mother had prepared beautiful notes. It's just that her daughter, who's now herself quite, senior, had never understood what her mother was trying to do. And so when she saw those notes and attended the course, she finally put two and two together. Now I understand what my
Yeah.
mother was trying to say all these years. But those are the most beautiful notes I've seen in my life. And just for that, I would say the study group was worth it for me.
Wow. Yeah, that's a really interesting story. So somebody sort of bringing something from earlier on in their life back around to finally get a better perspective on it. That's really cool.
Yeah. The other thing was that we do want to reward people who come to our courses. Again, I told you earlier on that I don't particularly like exams, but on the other hand, people do like to be acknowledged for what they've done. So we gave certificates to those who finished the course, in the sense of attending all the video lessons and doing the quiz, etc. But I think that I was stunned to see, if I may use the word, to see their sincerity, their deep knowledge. And there was professors, there were students, there's everyone in the room, just helping each other along. And that spirit of learning is something that you cannot replicate in the course itself, the online course. So there's a study group which is more kind of active and for everyone to interact. And then there's the online course. So people went back and forth, and many of them might have even finished the whole online course on their own.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that extra ability to interact with people is especially valuable right now because everybody is doing the virtual thing and everyone's a little bit isolated. So the study group sounds like such a great idea.
Thank you.
So what I understand you've got a newer course as well. There's the linear algebra has just come out recently. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So linear algebra course actually started a couple of years ago. The issue was this, that what do people really need to know in the modern world? I mean, should they know internal mathematics? So of course, they need to know algebra and geometry, the staple high school courses. But then what beyond that should be calculus? Of course, calculus is very foundational. And if you know calculus, apart from anything else, it's just worth learning. So why not do it? But the question is, what's really useful in today's world of data science and computing and economics and all kinds of things. So what do people need to know mathematically to make it big in this world? And we found the answer was linear algebra. Linear algebra is
Definitely.
dreadfully simple matrices, etc. You can learn them in 7th grade, 8th grade, whenever, but it's so useful. It's what underlies, I think, even if you were to go into a hospital and take a CT scan, very likely there's some linear algebra going on underneath it. Big companies find it useful to have their own libraries for doing linear algebra. That means that linear algebra is important. So, and so we said, let's do a linear algebra course, but I wanted to keep the course really simple and make it interesting by putting applications. So the course has got, of course, all the standard topics, but it also has things like data compression. How do you take, let's say, a picture and compress the memory of that, into a much smaller size using linear algebra? And of course, that's just a kind of, gives an idea of what happens in the real world. But I think it's dramatic how much the Wolfram language is doing that. If you look at a particular textbook from any one of them today, you'll find that they probably do 3 by 3 or 4 by 4 matrices. We can do 500 by 500 in a flash. So,
Sure.
I mean, historically, the first calculations would take at MIT would take days or even weeks or months, and now they get done instantly. So I just wanted to convey the flavor of the subject and how powerful we are in this area of the Wolfram language.
Yes, and I can say personally that again, having taken a linear algebra course in my undergrad, this Wolfram language makes it much easier to get through a lot of those complex, large, many variable problems. And of course, so this is something that is available right now. Can you kind of just show us how somebody might find these courses that we're
Sure.
talking about?
Definitely. So I'll quickly take you to the website, which has all the courses on it. So before going, let me just say that as the slide said over there, there is actually a daily study group which for linear algebra, which will come up very soon. So this page over here encapsulates what you need. You need to go to Wolfram U. I would type in Wolfram U into a browser or go to the Wolfram page and look for Wolfram U and look for mathematics. I think if you there's a pull down menu over here, which will actually get you to mathematics, and then look for the mathematics courses. And these are two that I'm talking about today. Introduction to Calculus, which I just spoke about, Introduction to Linear Algebra. So here, just to give you a feel for what the course is like, is it's kind of a very, very nice layout, very simple. You can go in and start the free course immediately. But this is a complete linear algebra course. And like I said, for the calculus course, we found a study group help people quite a lot. So we have a study group coming up very soon in October. Should be quite nice. And so you see over the study group page on Wolfram U, which has got system modeling starting very, very soon. Maybe already just began actually, and then a COVID course, which I think is nice and relevant, and then linear algebra is up in October, mid-October, because we have the conference over here. We're all getting working on that right now. We're just preparing our talks. A little panicky at the last minute. The conference is, I have my talk. So, but apart from that, we're looking forward to the study group as a way to let people know about all these wonderful courses and let them actually learn the things quite carefully. So this is, I think, in terms of the website, go to Wolfram U, look for mathematics, look for the courses, and you should find them quite easily. You might need to register, but apart from that, it's all completely free. Stephen Wolfram has been very keen on keeping these free for everyone. His dream is to have people learn the Wolfram language, which he has put his life's time into it. And so I think it is all working really well.
And just to reiterate, these are all open to anybody who wants to attend. You don't have to be a student. You don't have to be a professor or a professional. You can sort of just be someone who's interested in the topic and feel free to join and learn whatever you can.
Yes. In fact, we had exactly that mix in the study group, professors, professionals, parents, students. Everyone was in the course just really enjoying themselves, interacting, and there'll be the same for linear algebra. And to take it a step further, in fact, some people are busy. You might miss a lesson because because the study group has got the same schedule as, let's say, your own schedule. So what you do then is there's a makeup session on Friday where we actually go through everything. I do a review. People are a bit nervous about the weekly quiz, so I give them all kinds of nice hints to make sure that they actually pass it without much problem. And so the study group is very much like high school or college. It's open to all, universal, free, and we are very accommodating for all kinds of time zones, etc.
Excellent. So we're just about out of time here, but I will say anyone who has taken the same math courses that I have will probably know what course you have coming up next. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about that one.
Sure. I'll just take a minute for this one. So this one has just begun. It looks like, we all excited to have this differential equation because this is where my heart is. Okay, I've spent 16 years at Wolfram doing differential equations. So I'd like to show people the differential equations approach via mathematical and Wolfram language. This course coming up, it will have all the standard staple solution techniques, but also real world applications. We might even have an example to show something about the pandemic and how historically Daniel Bernoulli argued that if you have a vaccine, you can fix these pandemic problems eventually. So I think that this should be a great course for those who want to take it.
Awesome. And so that's planned for early 2021, you say?
Well, 2021, these things take more time than you thought. Sure. We like to polish things and put them out, but I think sometime in 2021, certainly if you're going to take the course after mid-2020, it should be available to you. Just watch out on the website. I always write a blog post. Watch the blog post and you'll see that it's available to you.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for talking with us, and hopefully we can get a few more people coming to study groups, and everyone be on the lookout for a differential equations course coming up. Thanks a lot, Devendra.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks for joining us. You can check out other Wolfram Tech Talks, live coding streams, and more on the Wolfram Research YouTube channel, or see what else is new at wolfram.com.